Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the 5Marks Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, back, no longer sick, thank God, Mr. Martin115, joined with my lovely dance partner. It's been so awkward you saying this than not me, Mr. Carmo.
Yeah, we still haven't figured that part out. But anyway, we're back for another week. Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another week.
Do you know what that means? Well, I don't think you said that in the last episode. That's the first episode you've...
I did. I actually did. I introed it with that. Yeah, I did.
I have to make that into a fucking t-shirt now or something for you.
It's coming. It's on the way.
Carmo exclusive. But once again, we are joined here on the podcast with RCW owner, general manager. There's a whole bunch of other different names you can give him as well. Mr. Billy Bedlam.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. 2 of the 5 or 7 marks, which I know I've lost count.
There's about 15 of us at this stage. Like.
2 of my favourite. We'll put it that way, right?
Yeah, fuck you, Emmett. He'll love listening to this back now.
Yeah.
But we are literally
we've history together. We've done podcasts together. I haven't podcasted with Emmett. I've only podcasted with yourself and Carmo, so that's why my loyalty lies with you.
Nah, just tell me he's fucking shit at what he does.
Yeah.
But we are here today because we are literally days away from RCW's first show in the PAV Fiction. And you, to be fair, every time I say this to you, you never are. Like, you must be, like, stressed. You're just days away from the biggest show.
Oddly calm, actually. We've outsold. It's the biggest show I've ever promoted. We sold more tickets for this one than we did for when Scotty Too Hot was in town. So do you know why I'm calm? Because I can't wait for it. Normally I am antsy going on show week, especially a couple of days before it. But it's normally I'm nervous about shit that could go wrong rather than anything else. But like, you're like, fuck, what about this, what about that? But like, I'm very confident that we've put together a really good card. We've a really good crew. There's not everybody on that show is a really experienced professional wrestler. They're at it years, and we've a very good mix of local talent, Irish talent, and international talent. A little flavor from everywhere. So I think. And I've been to the pub a few times now over the last couple of weeks, imagining the show and just putting it all together. And yeah, I'm calm. I'm calm because I just can't wait to get it. I really can't wait to get in there and get it done.
Now, I want to ask you about the PAV because obviously for like people like myself who don't live in Cork, obviously we've seen that in the videos what the PAV looks like and stuff like that. How is the PAV actually going to work show wise?
Yeah, cool. So. Not to coin a phrase, but at the moment it's in my head. But seriously, it is like until the ring gets in there, I've only kind of what I think is a vision, right? So obviously there was a wrestling show in there once 8 years ago at CCW, so I know the ring fits because I've measured it. But it's kind of going to be so the ring, the dance floor is the main area and it's down, so everyone will be looking into the ring rather than up at it. And like normally you're sitting down here, standing, you're looking up. This time you're looking in. But and in the Kino, as you know, you kind of play to 2 sides of the ring. There's a very short section by the entrance, the right side when you walk in. Then there's the rest of the Kino. Well, we're here. It's very much going to be kind of 3 sides. So there's a VIP kind of seated area next to the screen. Then to the left of that, I know. I want to say left. You don't know what I'm talking about, but like there's 3 sides to the ring basically. Then there's a seated area, and then there's the kind of an elevated standing area where the bar is, which I'm going to refer to as top shelf. And that's going to be fucking epic. And then there's another seated row where it's kind of an exclusive area where wrestlers can, when they're finished their matches, they can sit down and watch the show. So you're going to have a vibrant stage there with there's 3 sides of the ring being played to, rather than the Kino where it's primarily one side. And it's going to be different. It's going to be very different. Just the feel of it, the look of it, the atmosphere in there is going to be different, So I genuinely am buzzing for it.
Like this is sorry, I'll just say this very quick. Like this is like I think you said in a phrase before. This was like supposed to be the tester show, and already it's been as you said, the most for like we'll say like promoted show, it's sold out now, which is
Yeah.
crazy. So like this has gone from let's test the waters to this is probably one of the biggest shows we're doing.
It sold out 3 weeks ago, except I kept adding more tickets. Because I put a limit on it, as arranged with the owner, but it sold out. It actually sold out. I was like, hang on. I was like, we know we can put more in there. I was being conservative because I was like, going, I don't know, shift the venue, blah blah blah. And the last keynote show was a bit of a struggle to sell. So I was like, fuck it. Let's be a bit let's be a little bit conservative. But then when the tickets were gone, I was like, okay, let's not be conservative anymore. And I could sell more tickets. I don't know is the right answer. What's the capacity until I see a ring in there and I see what we've in there now? Then I can kind of make a judgment call on that with the owner for Christmas. Today's Monday evening, the 30th of October. So I'm putting tickets on sale for Eric Young's show tomorrow morning. I'm just waiting for one adjustment to the poster.
Ooh. So if you're listening to this
Interesting.
now, tickets are on sale right now.
On sale, meet and greet are on sale, and everything is on sale right now. And
Nice.
because this show sold out so quick, you're going to want to get your tickets because everybody that's going to be there on Saturday would want to come again on December. I can guarantee you that because I'm looking at, as I said to you off before, I have a screen in front of me here where all my cards are, and I'm looking at the December one. It's a whopper.
You can throw your question now, Carmo.
Lovely, yeah. I was just going to say, is there something that the PAV offers, I suppose, when you're trying to book a show that maybe the keynote didn't? And if there is, what is it?
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, there's a few different elements to it. The main thing for me, this is something you guys won't know as fans and all that, but maybe the main thing is there's a proper backstage area for wrestlers. I mean, we outgrew the keynote, and I don't mean that in a big-headed way at all. I mean, we outgrew the keynote as a promotion ages ago because the backstage area was too small as the card expanded. And when we were doing shows for Sky Duhati, I had to have a B&B up the road booked for him to get changed with LJ and plan the match and all that kind of stuff. And I had to have different, so it was a bit of a cluster in that regard. So that's one element. I'm much happier with the PAV from a security perspective for the wrestlers. It's more of a venue / event type night out, I think, than the keynote. The keynote was great, don't get me wrong, but it's just a hollow shell where you'll know when you walk into this, when you're walking up the steps, when you're walking up the stairs into this, and you'll be like, wow, this feels bigger, better. It's a bigger platform. It's going to look better on the VOD. It's going to sound better because the sound stays in there rather than the keynote. It just kind of travel back in the noise. Sometimes it sounded very not empty, but very quiet.
Yeah.
Whereas the noise will reverberate around the center of the stage here, in that regard. And then the other aspect of it is it's a better setup from a lighting perspective. It's going to look better on the night, because we had to bring in all our own lights and set it up in the keynote, which is fine. But it's more of it's next level audio, next level lighting and stuff like that. And I just think the way it's set up, it's going to be very interesting as well, the way the ring is set up. So
I actually wanted to talk to you about the production side, because I know you've spoke to me privately and stuff like that. That the production for RCW is going to be taking a step up as well. Because like I like that you mentioned it there as well. Like the sound with the keynote was very quiet. Because I remember I watched back the last show, and obviously Steve Savage return. There was the moment where he was like he was handcuffed to the ropes, and so everyone's going Savage, Savage. Being there, it was so loud, and then you watch back the VOD, it's like Savage, Savage, Steve, Savage. But production-wise, RCW, it is stepping up now.
Yeah, so my philosophy was after Phoenix opened RCW that I wasn't really interested in the production from a watching it back perspective, as opposed to putting on a live show. I would put everything into the show. I was like, right, the finances. I mean, it takes money to put on a show, right? Obviously, you need to sell as much tickets as you can to pay the talent, pay the venue, and everything else comes secondary. But you like to make a few bob as well, so you can start paying for the next show. Like example is, I've all the flights booked for December. I booked it there last week, so there needs to be revenue always. It can't be in Kieran Lynch's or Billy Bedlam, whatever alter ego. It needs to be the company itself needs to be cash.
Yeah.
Cash flow needs to be the positive. One thing that we didn't really that wasn't the case, especially in the last days of Phoenix, where it kind of had got out of control. So one of the things that I was trying to cut down on bills, and one of the things was like, okay, I'm not paying for people, I'm not paying for cameramen, I'm not paying for cameras, I'm not paying for this, I'm not paying for that, to give it away for free on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because as much as it's important to document everything, I love watching it back. I was like, right, well, I have cameras here, we're going to use them. Fuck it. We'll get better as we need to. Because at the time I was only going to do one RCW show, see how I felt. But obviously that's well in the past. So one of the things that I want to do going forward is I want to myself kind of come back behind the camera a little bit again and make sure that we're producing things in the right way. So I think we're at a stage now where you can see in the last show in the keynote the cameras were better. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's about capturing the sound on those cameras better and just putting it together a little bit better. We have a new editor as well. He did a great job editing that one together. It's just about getting every time you do one, be better. Because my philosophy on wrestling is the same as my job, my life. That'll do, won't do. So we've like, I want to be able to showcase these matches, especially in a great venue. We're bringing in the likes of Eric Young and other stuff that I plan for next year. We need to be able to showcase that and look next level stuff. Go, wow, that's really good. You see OTT stuff, like, wow. Yeah. The lads do a great job as well in Hard Knocks. It's just fucking wow. And I'm like, well, I want to be at the same level as that from a production perspective anyway, or best was what I can. So there's a few bits and pieces I'm investing in now going forward for the PAV.
Do you want a short question there, Carmo?
Bit of a strange question. Like, obviously you've worked in the Kino now for quite a long time and everything like that, and I suppose you know the setup of the Kino. Yeah. Is there that nervousness about moving to the PAV, or is it just kind of pure excitement?
Pure excitement. I tell you why. I've already been in there looking at the setup. They have a building engineer. I mean, there's things that the Kino just don't have where you go and you have to do everything. They have an on-site building sound engineer that's going to be there. He's a big wrestling fan as well. I've already spoke to him, and he's going to hook up my lighting and sound guy, so I don't have to worry about that at all. I just have to go, Eamon, Fionn, Eamon. See you later. I'm over.
I'm off. Enjoy, lads.
And that's the difference between 4 or 5 years ago and now. Whereas I have a team around me, like basically a team around me, that one guy does the lighting and sound and all that stuff. So I don't have to work. No, I pay him. Obviously, there's no one doing nothing for free. I have someone else doing a lot of the social media, right? Because number one, I'm dyslexic and I misspell everything. And number two, he's an expert in it. Marion Armstrong, Luke Barry. So like, I have other people to do other bits and pieces from a support structure network. That makes it easier for me than to run show day. I have an agent. Michael May does a lot of my agenting for all the matches. I'd lean heavily on the senior people on the roster as well. Ask Justy, get an awful lot of advice from him. Katie, Phil. So look, I'm relaxed because I have the support structure around me. But yeah, the setup, it's going to be it will be a little bit different. But I don't there might be some challenges when we get in there, but I'm optimistic that we can solve anything on the day with the crew that's in there. I've seen all the equipment and everything, so I'm like, this is all really good.
It's not going to work. And look, as well, like you talk about like production and stuff like that. The main thing is the card, and the card is stacked at the moment.
Yeah.
Like for people coming over, like you got people like Robbie X, you've got Danny Luna, and the star power there alone is already fucking on top. And then this is probably my favorite. Like, no disrespect to the fucking all the talent they're currently about, but this match is probably the match where you're going to see me sat there not saying a word, no clapping, no nothing. Steve Savage and Tucker, two of my absolute favorites to watch in Irish wrestling, just fucking going at it. Like, the card is stacked for this show. Was it hard kind of putting this card together?
No, not hard. It was fun. I put it together ages ago now, like, because I work months in advance. I'm putting together February right now on Good Friday at the moment. I'm just confirming something that I can't talk about for February. It's gonna be really cool. So as soon as I got someone, I got that done. I have the date in mind, and I'll book the card accordingly. But I like to book 3 cards kind of at a time. So when I was booking Christmas and November, I was booking Rebel County Dogs as well. But this one wasn't hard to put together in regards to I knew what I wanted to do with the Rebel X division, right? I knew that Danny Luna was coming in. I knew Robbie X was coming in. So that was kind of there's a good lot covered already. I knew Raven Creed and Reardon O'Connor were having a 3-match program. So that was obviously the rubber matches next, right? So then you're kind of left with, well, what else do we want to put in here? And then it's like, okay, well, Tucker and Steve, that was when I kind of set back. I was like, I'd like to see that. Sometimes when you're putting matches together, you're like, that'd be a good match. But you don't really think about it. You go, yeah, that'd be a good match. Or they'll have fun, or it'll be good promos. But that was one of those ones I kind of sat back and you're like, I can see that being a really, really good match and really good everything there, because they're two big bulls, like, and they'll leather the shit out of each other, and they both want to put on a great show, and they both know how big of an event this is for us and whatnot. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see both their chests after the match.
That's the best part. Like I was saying this before. Like Steve Savage and Tucker, two guys, I cannot put them into a category of either wrestlers, high flyers, or whatever. They're the whole fucking package in one. And I remember like because of like the weekend we just had and stuff, I was humming and hawing like, oh, will I get down? And Steve turned to me. He goes, "You're going to want to get down because I know there's gonna be something that you're gonna like." And then that match gets announced, and I went, that fucker.
Yeah.
Now I have to go.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a belter, in fairness. I was actually down with Marion Armstrong earlier today, just going over some stuff, and we were looking at snippets from commentary for the last show, and we just put on when Owen Richards promo, and then Steve's comeback entrance, and it was perfectly done from a theatrical perspective as well, with the black lights and then boom, and I don't think anybody was expecting Steve. So it was a lovely moment as well, to be fair, for myself and Steve. So yeah, I'm delighted that he's back, and he's going to have a great match with Tucker.
I'll ask you about that actually. Obviously Steve Savage came back at the last show, and how was that like for you, finally bringing Steve back to Cork and getting the eruption that he got? Because it was a very, very big moment.
Yeah, well, like from a personal standpoint, I was delighted to welcome Steve back to Cork and into RCW for the first time. That's just it. From a personal side of things, it was really, really nice thing, and that was a really cool moment. From a how we did it, that was the important thing to do, right? I was like, right, there's no point in just putting up a match graphic. It's going to be shit. What we want is the reaction, and we know where we are when we do this, as in we'll know where we are from the crowd reaction. And I wasn't surprised with the reaction he got, to be honest with you. I was delighted with it, but I wasn't surprised. I knew he'd get a really good reaction in Cork. He always put on a really good job in Cork for Phoenix, and briefly for CCW back in the day as well. So yeah, it was really cool.
Carmo, do you want to throw the question there?
I was actually just going to ask you about the Rebel X, or the X division that you've now brought into Rebel County Wrestling. You talked about it briefly the last time that we were talking to you. Can you actually explain it to us a little bit more, what you want from that division?
Yeah, so I had that idea at the first show last year we did, when we had LJ, Martin, and Fabio. I was just like, I just kind of, I don't know, did LJ pitch it, or did we? It was definitely a conversation we had anywhere. It was just like, do you want to just have? I think he suggested, do you want us to just go out and have a banger? I mean, as in, go out balls to the wall match, as in the most stuff we can possibly do and I was like, yeah, let's do that. And I was watching it, and I was just like, I was at ringside, I was just like, fuck, no, this is really good. Because it was just bang, 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 bang. I love that level of intensity. I love that level of athleticism and move after move and fast pace, high octane. I was like, yes, this is something that I could really look to do in time. So I was like, right. That's when I kind of had the idea of the Rebel X division. I was like, okay, let's do the heavyweight belt first, and then the tag belt, and then we can get into it. And no better, but I want the Cork element involved as well. So that's why Matt Schuyler and Dino Power are in there as well. But they're in there with Fabio and Martin Steers, who are absolute hands down two of the best wrestlers on the country, in the country at the moment. So that for me is going to be an unbelievable match. And an unbelievable division going forward. It has great potential, and if it's booked right, so yeah, I think it'll be really good.
I mean, like
I'm actually looking forward to it because I think it's a chance for a lot of talent to kind of showcase what they really can do and just kind of go balls to the wall, as you kind of mentioned there a while ago. Like,
Everybody wants the match of the night, right? Okay, if we're in this match, there's no direction for me except just go out there, and maybe just fucking have a chat with the main event so everyone's not doing the same shit. But go. It's going to open the show. It's going to be the first match on the card. It's going to set an example to the PAV, to people that haven't been at shows before. It's going to be set an example to people. There's a lot of people. It's their first wrestling show. We've a lot of different people here. It's not just going to be the same core fans. I'm sure most of them are going to be there too. But I know just from the names and the draw that we have, there's a lot of first timers. So I want to put a marker down, and I've spoken to the boys and like, okay, we're putting a marker down here. This is going to be our opening match on the opening night of the PAV, and it's going to be scheduled for 1 4. And it is for.
Ooh.
Let me show you. And it is for the Rebel X Division belt.
oh, she is beautiful.
Look at that bad boy right there.
That is beautiful.
The one question I kept getting asked as well was like, is it black strap or is it white strap? The white strap, I think, is fucking beautiful.
White strap, all the details.
Look at
Sick.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm delighted to bring it to light, and it's gonna be really cool. So someone is gonna walk away with that on Saturday night.
If that belt goes missing after the show, it's all Martin's fault. That's all I'm saying.
I know where it's straight up to Limerick. Look at me. But yeah, I mean, it's. I envision this. Sorry, 1 second. I just pressed something on my keyboard that has me muted, or it's you muted. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I muted you by mistake. I have this vision of this division. Very seldom will you have a one-on-one match, right? I think it's always going to be three or four. We always like the Phoenix four-way in Phoenix. And look, I'm the same booker, so the Phoenix and RCW is not massively different. There is subtle differences, right? But look, I'm the same person booking it, so I mean, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here either. But I always do like one big multi-man match in my shows, and now we have a reason for having multi-man, the Rebel X Division belt, and very much in the same milk as the X Division in TNA. I was a big fan of that, and yes, we will at some point hopefully see an X Division rules match where there's like a big red X over
the Ultimate X.
Let's ease our way into the path before we start going nuts,
fucking first show, opening contest. Let's go.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be. I'm definitely going to do it at some point. It's just maybe not the first one. But look, it's a really cool concept, I think, and I think I'm really looking forward to it, yeah.
And the thing is, I love as well, like you mentioned, like this show, there's going to be new people, and it's going to be the same people. In this one match alone, you have the story that everybody knows is going on currently at the moment. Like we saw at the last show, Dino, for whatever reason, felt like he needed to turn on Matt Schuyler and attack Matt Schuyler. So what's going to happen when the two of them finally get their hands on each other in that match? And then you have the two inspirations behind bringing this X Division to RCW in Fabio Martin Sears, two of the absolute best, who I currently have a problem with because I had no idea they were underneath those luchador masks.
Yeah, me too, right?
Absolute fucking cunt. Like Carmo was crying his eyes out, but
that's not get into it.
But like, it's a huge way to kick off the X Division for the people who've been going to all the shows and all the new comers into RCW.
Yeah, it is. In fairness, look, it's going to be a classic match right off the bat. First, like if that's not match at night, I'll eat my hat. And it's just going to be a catalyst for the Rebel X Division belt and championship going forward. Yeah.
Now, can I ask you as well? Because obviously, I brought up the whatever, like Dino Power. Was there any indication to you that he was retiring that night?
Well, yeah, I had conversation with him. I had conversations with him in private over the last while, and he was talking about, he wasn't happy with this thing and that thing, and that he was talking about, maybe leaving Ireland and going elsewhere. So I wasn't terribly surprised when he said he was packing it in, but I didn't realize it was he was trying to coax Matt Skyler into a false insecurity. But there you go. I don't think Skyler will be caught twice off guard. So, yeah, just to try and get it, obviously they're in the same match, so some order will have to be kept. But like they're both gunning for a championship as well. So if they can keep their professionalism and doesn't boil over, I'm sure they'll be fine. If not, then we could end up with a singles match between Fabio and Steers, and those two boys could be fighting around the streets of Cork City somewhere. So it all remains to be seen.
I can't wait to see what happens when we actually get there. Carmo, do you want to throw in a question?
I was actually just going to mention Raven Creed and Reardon O'Connor. I think you said they're going to have their third match on the next show. I believe that's correct. First of all, their match from the last show, which was, in my opinion, I think it was match of the night. The two absolutely blew the house down. What was your opinions on that match?
Yeah, I gave it the first Billy Bedlam 5-star rating. I'm not Dave Meltzer, but
the brand new Dave Meltzer of Irish wrestling.
Well, let's just comment to Dave Meltzer of RCW, because I won't comment on other promotions.
Every match is a 5-star match.
I like to live in the multiverse here, right? So from one wrestling promotion to the next is a multiverse. So not like yourself, there's not the same continuity in different promotions. But anyway, what I did think I think it was the best match I have seen on one of my shows ever, and not including Phoenix. I thought they have done an exceptional job so far. I can't wait to see what they do next. It's the last wrestler standing match is going to be the one in the PAV in next Saturday. So I have nothing but thanks and praise for the two, the way they've carried this feud themselves. Their matches, their quality of everything that they do has been exceptional. And yeah, I've nothing but praise for two of them. That was an exceptional match. They put it all on the line. The crowd were super, super into it as well. And that's what you want to see as somebody booked. So from a promoter's perspective, you want to see people going balls to the wall and the crowd loving every second of it. So yeah, I have nothing but praise and thanks to them.
I said this to Reardon. Of course, he turned around to me and goes, of course you think that way. I'm fucking in it, like fucking ego on that man. But like,
yeah, he's smooth.
The two matches were so fucking good that I've said this so many times to anyone that, like, if this third match continues to top the ones after, it is rivalry of the year in Irish wrestling, in my opinion. They have smashed every other rivalry, in my opinion. Like, just the story going into it, the way they've conducted themselves in the matches, and in the promos, it has been amazing. So if this last wrestler standing is just better than the last one, there's, in my opinion, and if anyone says anything else, you're wrong, and you're wrong. It is rivalry of the year by far.
It's up there anyway. Yeah, it's not for me to comment on rivalry of the year for other promotions, whatever. I've enjoyed watching from afar some of the other rivalries, in particular Steve Savage and Danny Cross and whatnot, what they would have had Knox. If I'm just looking from outside my own promotion, that was something I particularly enjoyed. But I definitely think it's up there in the conversation for 100% one of the rivalries of the year in the country. 100%.
Now, can I ask you, because like we've seen like rivalries boil over to fucking a lot further. As the booker, as the promoter, is this it? Third match, rubber match. There is no rematch after this.
No, there's no rematch after this. This is it. Like, whoever wins. Go your separate ways. 100%. Now, will they ever wrestle ever again? Oh, of course they will. But I know Reardon O'Connor has plans if he gets past Raven Creed. I know Raven Creed always has plans to take him to hell and take everybody else with her. So yeah. That remains to be seen, but like it is this for now. This is the end of this is the exclamation point, we'll say. So whoever gets the bragging rights will get the bragging rights from this.
Now, I want to talk to you now as well about the brand new RCW World Champion, Owen Richards, because he was on a bit of a promotional tour for RCW very recently.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Like philosophically, we differ in an awful lot of our opinions on wrestling and a lot of stuff. But fundamentally, I think we agree on a lot of things as well. And fundamentally, we agree on promotion and promoting the product and the promotion. So I was delighted to put our differences aside for a few hours and invite him to Cork for the day. And we did a lot of promotional work with Red FM. We went to the PAV itself to have a look around. We did some podcasts with our pals over in WrestleSlam, and we just did other promotional work around the city. So yeah, I think he understands the task at hand. It's a big thing for him for his first singles belt. He's one of the hottest guys on the scene right now in Ireland. He's making a big name for himself. If in a tag, obviously the Sabres, and then personally on his own wrestling, but he's still with the Sabres, obviously in Cork too. But yeah, it was a great day. As I said, he understands the task and he did a great job.
And as well, I believe like he's handpicked this match himself. He wants the best of the best, only competing for his version of the RCW Championship.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes it's a strange relationships wrestlers have with promoters, right? Because everybody wants to be top of the card, everyone wants to have the best matches, and everyone wants to have this, that, and the other. That's fair enough, and I'm always open for conversation. However, quote unquote, this is not me saying it. This is quote unquote Owen Richards. Nobody in Cork is good enough. Nobody in Cork is good enough to step up and take his championship, and no one's good enough to step up and at his level to even have a match. Now, I just don't agree with that. And I certainly think the likes of Raven Creer and Reardon O'Connor, Butch Armstrong, and more will have a word to say about that in the future. However, I did take on board that Robbie X is one of the best unsigned wrestlers at the moment, and I would love to have him in RCW. So I reached out to him and asked him, would he come to RCW? And yeah, so we signed him for two or three match deal. So we'll see how it goes.
Carmo, do you want to throw a question there?
Doesn't matter. I'm excited to know it's a 2 or 3 match deal, to be honest.
Well, we didn't sign or anything, but like we're going to work with each other for a couple of shows, like so. Yeah, so that's cool.
I like that. Joe, I actually want to move. I want to kind of staying on the Owen Richards topic. I want to go back to the last show a small bit here again, where we did see LJ Cleary go up against Mark Andrews. Little did we know at the time that it would be one of LJ's last matches in Europe, let alone the country.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about LJ and like he's moving to Noah and stuff like that?
Yeah, 100%. Like myself and LJ go way back. He started wrestling maybe a year and a half before me, but back in the day, and we've interacted quite a lot over the years. I have an awful lot of time for him. He's a really, really talented, exceptionally talented young man. He is paving the way for Irish wrestling at the moment. I know there's others over in WWE. I'm not suggesting he's the first ever to do it or anything like that. Even his own partner, Valkyrie, is current champ, NXT Women's champ. However, his professionalism to work with every promotion in Ireland, from a trainer and from a wrestler, is exceptional. I don't think we'll see his legs again, to be honest with you. It was a great moment for us to have him as our champ. And he's made the promotion better. And I can't rate him any higher than I already rate him. He's a really good guy. He'll be missed. I don't think we'll see him around the Irish scene the way we did before. I think when we do get to see him back at any point, it'll be for specific matches. I am hoping we'll see him back in an RCW ring, but it'd have to be pretty juicy prospect, match, for him to, and rightly so, for he's at that level where he'd be at a very high level. So I wish him nothing but the best in Japan. I've been in contact with him quite a bit as well, so he's doing very well. Long may it continue.
Another few months now, we'll actually be considering him an import.
I think we can already kind of consider him an import. I just don't see him coming back and having throwaway matches, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like he'd wrestle in the opening of an envelope before, just wanted to get the reps in. Where now is CB a lot more prescriptive in what he does, and rightly so. I mean, he's at that level where if he's not signed to a full-time contract in the next 12 months, I'd be shocked.
Do you want to throw another out there, Carmel?
I want to kind of go on to Danny Luna then. Obviously, she's coming in for the next show and she's going up against Anita Vaughan.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, you're looking to see who you could put her against, right? Big fan of Danny Luna, have been for quite some time. This is our Irish debut, I think, as well, which is fantastic. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I think herself and Anita Vaughan will have a belter. Anita Vaughan is flying at the moment. She's been doing some really good things over the last 12 months, longer, 2 years. So yeah, it's a good match up there. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. She refused to wrestle Katie Harvey on the last show. So we'll see what Katie has to say about that as well. And I'm sure we haven't seen the last of Katie and Anita Vaughan as well. But Danny Luna is a big draw for us, and I think that she'll make the show a good thing to have as well.
Now, I have to ask this as a fan because, like, I know people are going to wonder this as well. We've Danny Luna on this show. We've Mark Andrews on the last show.
Yes.
Will we ever? Is there a chance we could see the collective of subculture in RCW?
100%, yeah, 100%. So it's I've already spoke to Mark Andrews about it on the last show. It's something we'd love to do. I'd say we'd see it next year sometime. Yeah, I'd say we'd see it next year. I think so. Good Friday is always a really big show for us, right? It's always a massive night out in Cork. So how should we fuck off, Lord? Part 2. We might see that match. Yeah. Why not? Okay. If we can align everything together, I'd say that would be a good one to do.
Get me all excited now for the future months.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I wanted to bring up because this was announced very, very recently. Not even recently, a couple of days ago. The partnership between RCW and Fight Factory. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been working together for ages. I mean, just not officially. I mean,
we'll say we'll say the tours going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if anyone has been at Fight Factory shows, if you just look up to the sky, you'd see me working doing most of the time doing the lights of the Fight Factory show. So I kind of help out with the production, and I have a great relationship with myself and Katie and Phil. So I think there was a bit of a void left after Wrestling.e folded, right? Especially in Cork. I know there's wrestling shows, kind of Mega Slam coming over from the UK and whatnot, and there's a lot of stuff up the north with LDN or LND, whatever it is. And stuff, but there isn't an awful lot going on in relation to what it was. So if you return before COVID times, you had a lot of kind of regional wrestling going on as well. Wrestling.e were running shows every weekend all over the country, and during the summer, Irish Whip were doing a lot of shows as well. And I wrestled as a young wrestler. Well, I was young. I was a younger wrestler for both promotions on occasion, and I was like, look, there's a fucking opportunity here if we want to do something. We have, I don't have a school, but I have, like, there's a lot of locations here in Cork. We kind of have shared equipment, myself and Fight Factory and whatnot. So it's like might be an opportunity here to do something where we can put on some shows. I can look to build regionally here in Cork and just outside, obviously, the Munster area. And the same can be said for Fight Factory. But like, I don't want to be doing RCW shows outside of Cork. And I'm sure Fight Factory don't want to be doing shows in Tipperary or whatever. So we decided we'd put together a banner and just come together officially on it. And IWA was born, Irish Wrestling Alliance, and we kick off in Fermoy in the Palace Theatre on the 25th of November. Again, that was a Wrestling.e. I wrestled Scotty Davis on that in there the last time we were there about 8 years ago. Be Cool, LJ, Steve Savage, Marion Armstrong. So like, what I'm saying is the towns are there, and from me, I want to build something big in Cork. So there's massive towns in Cork: Fermoy, Middleton, Charleville, Mallow, and there's no wrestling there, and it hasn't been for quite some time. And there's Tiptown, there's all over Munster, there's Limerick, or sorry, not Limerick, Waterford, no, not going near Limerick. But like I'm like the Hard Knocks lads will be wrestling on the IWA show, because I know Steve is booked for it. and the Step Ronaldos, Step Brothers are there as well. So I mean, it's an just because it's me and Katie running them, from an IWA.
It's
And
Irish
like,
wrestling. That's what it's
it's
all of Irish
wrestling.
wrestling.
Basically, we'll just be picking and choosing, who's available on the weekends, and just having a laugh. These shows are fun for us to do. All shows are fun for us to do, but these ones are especially fun because there's not as much pressure on us as performers and as producers and whatnot. If you know what I mean. And they're a lot of fun. Road trips are fun, for me and for everybody else as well. So we kind of want to do that and then give other wrestlers that are up and coming trainees reps, because you only get better by experience, and you need experience of approach. You can only do so many gym shows. So there's an opportunity there for young wrestlers that are training in any school in Ireland to get onto us as well, and within reason, we'll get them involved.
So this is something like it's almost say like house shows will say, like, it's not gonna be like they're not being recorded. It's like you're there, you see it. If you're not, tough shit. And is the plan to take this much like we've seen what 5Marks doing, kind of around Ireland?
Yeah, I mean, I think to be fair, we were testing the waters. I was at the Longford show. I'll be at the Kildare show. We were testing we were just seeing what the setup would be like and what the whole thing would be like. We're not going to be going in every town in Ireland, but like we might do some tours, right? And we might do a couple of shows every month, where there is no wrestling. So for me right now, there's no wrestling outside of Cork and Limerick. In the Munster, there's nothing around Tiptown. I've been on to arenas in Tiptown. I've been on to Tullamore, Portlaoise. Katie's talked to places in Dublin and Bray and whatnot, and Waterford. There's not like there's not, it's not there. And if we want to build the future of Irish wrestling, all of us collectively, and I put everybody in that category from Joe to Steve to myself to all the lads up the north. If we all want to do it collectively, well, there has to be some regional shows being done that isn't like Mega Slam coming over from the UK and doing them. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of, I won't say we'll be annoyed at that, but I mean, we should be. There's enough wrestling companies in Ireland to be doing our own, like, you know what I mean. So, especially in Cork, I mean, I want to do them in Cork. I really do, because I want to build my audience in Cork, the family audience that will grow up to be adults, that'll be fucking wanting me to do shows in Neptune in 3 or 4 years' time. We got to start somewhere. And my master plan is to branch out all over the county. It's a big county, the biggest county in Ireland, and there's wrestling fans out there that don't even know there's local wrestling. So
exactly, that's one of the biggest positives of it, is there is the wrestling fans who have no idea that this scene is going on. I think it's the perfect time as well, because like, I know like people talk about like a boom in Irish wrestling before, but I feel like this is probably the biggest boom ever.
I think we're on the cusp of it, yeah. I think we're on the cusp again. They're going, like, it took a bit of a downturn. I think we're on the cusp again. And if you talk to the boys over in Hard Knocks, I'm sure Steve and the team will be doing shows, more house shows around the Limerick Clare area eventually as well. You're not going to do that in year one, because we're just trying to establish yourself. Like I'm promoting 6 years now at this point, like, and I'm only starting to do it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We tried it in Phoenix. We obviously were running in Limerick and Cork, but we were trying to do the high production stuff everywhere, and it doesn't work from a financial perspective. So, and you shows up in up doing shows up the north in Belfast and whatnot, but he's also doing shows in Enniskillen now, on with Scotty Tuhati. Like, that's a big event in itself. Like, so, like, there's plenty to go around, and there's plenty of fans out there that we need to service, really.
And if people are listening, they have no idea about this till now. Saturday, 25th November, 4:30 in Fermoy. I think tickets are €12, is it?
€12 ticket, yeah. We have some more dates. We'll be announcing them the next week or so. Yeah, I had another day in Cork the day after that, but the floods kind of half fucked Middleton, so we're going to leave that off for now. They've enough on their plate besides us trying to promote wrestling. But I'm putting up posters and shops that are closed with flooding, so my heart goes out to them. But we had some plans to do kind of more dates, and we will too. We'll be doing a few. I think we've 3 this year. We just have to announce them, and then who knows next year.
And if people are interested, follow RCW Wrestling on Instagram and Five Factory Pro Wrestling as well to know when these come out.
Yeah.
Carmo, do you want to try any questions about it?
Well, I was actually going to say there is a lot of younger talent in the country that aren't getting those chances at the moment. Like you have your next gen shows like Five Factory and different things like that. So I think it's a great opportunity to see a lot of those guys on the shows and get their first kind of outings as well with their first matches in front of crowds and stuff like that. So I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, exactly. And we might even do some stuff in the future, whereas we put the ring in there for the day, and we do maybe an open day in a town. If somebody wants to be a professional wrestler, come along for an hour or two and see what it's like. And that's how you build. That's how you get people in schools. I don't have a school right now. Probably won't for the next while anyway. But there's if somebody wants to be a wrestler, there's plenty of opportunity for people to be wrestlers in Ireland. But the problem is just I think there's some it's not widely known as much as it should be or could be in the mainstream. So like I join Red FM every chance I get to have some publicity for the company and the promotion in wrestling. So I think this is all we're going to be add to it.
And Joe, I was going to bring up some of the stuff, including the school. So obviously, you said there the school is kind of on hold for the moment. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the RCW podcast. Is there any
Yeah.
update on that coming?
Yeah, there is. I was talking to Marion about that today. I think we're just going to record more stuff at the next show, and then we'll have enough content to go out. So I think one a month is the RCW podcast. We'll have one in November. November we will kick it off. Yeah,
I
yeah,
look
yeah.
forward to that. I can't wait. That man, like, he has so many podcasts. I don't know. Like, I could barely keep up with the 5Marks.
Yeah, Dean Malenko was the man of 1,000 holes. Marion Armstrong was the man of 1,000 podcasts.
I can refer to him for that every time I see him now. He's going to absolutely hate
Yeah,
me
that's,
for it.
that's the new nickname.
Yeah.
Carmo, do you want to throw out any questions?
Well, I was actually going to ask you about that December show, which we also kind of frequently or kind of a small bit talked about it on the last time that we had you on. I believe it's December 9th with Eric Young. 8th, sorry, with Eric Young. Are you excited for that show?
I can't wait! I can't wait for I can't wait for the. We can talk about it because it's going to be announced tomorrow, so it'll be out by the time
Yeah,
they
yeah.
will come up. So it's called RCW Presents You Scumbag You Maggot, and it is obviously Eric Young coming to Cork, which is going to be a really big deal for me. And yeah, so Session Martinez back. She's back in Cork for that as well. We have. Who do we have? We have Robbie X who's back. We have CBL. We have Man Like Reese. It's a fucking stack card. Like I'm just going
That's
on the
banging,
poster by the way, because you'll see the poster in the morning. And obviously then you've the Raven Creeds of the world and everything else. And I might be looking at my phone here. I think, and then I just have to book with somebody else here from the UK that I'm not going to disclose because that's going to be surprising tonight. But they've just confirmed there, so that's lovely. So and then obviously we've got Gene Money back as well, and we've got J Money back as well. They'll be all in the poster tomorrow anyway, so I'm not giving anything mad away here. But yeah, it's gonna be really, really, really cool show.
And that's going to be the last show for 2023 RSW.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Now I want to ask as well because like we know this show's in the PAV, the next show's in the PAV. Is the PAV locked in now as this is going to be the home of RCW going forward?
Yeah. So yeah, we have it locked in for the next 4 shows. I'm just confirming. I need to confirm a person first, and then the show in February. The date confirmed because I'm trying to align calendars, and then obviously Good Friday. And then we might do June. Do we March, April, May? No, probably do May, end of May. Then maybe one more, and then we're going to go for a big show. That'll be outside the path. So we kind of have a build up, maybe 5 shows, and then bang, we're doing a much bigger show.
Yeah.
So we should have bought at that point.
You're going to have an absolutely hectic couple of months. But does that mean it's like I know you said earlier on, but like in terms of like the Keno, is there ever a chance for RCW to return there?
Never say never, but I don't see it on the cards anytime soon with different management in there now, and I don't know the future of the Keno itself, what they're at or what they're doing, or whether they'll stay in business or open, because there's permission to demolish that building for the last 4 or 5 years for student accommodation, as if we needed more of that. I mean, build up but for fuck's sake, leave the arena there, like, you know.
We don't have enough of them in Ireland. Like, we need to
No,
really
not cafes in Ireland. The plan permission is for cafe and student accommodation. I get it. Student accommodation is a problem, but so is some of the fucking arts. And like we have very limited places for anything to do. We're so lucky that we have the PAV, because otherwise we would be stuck big time if the Kino wasn't available. And the Kino was barely available for the last show. To be fair, I was sweating on it for 8 weeks, sitting on a show that I couldn't announce, and I had a lot of wrestlers booked, and it was only the last minute, like literally 4 weeks to go. They said I could do it. I was like, I don't want to be held hostage by venues either.
Actually,
but,
I think
there's no other option.
I think you got that text as well, like during your WrestleSlam interview. I remember you going, "Oh, there's the fucking thing there now."
I don't know. Did I get it during it? But I was oh no, yeah. It was because I did 2 interviews.
Yeah, because I remember one of them you went, you turned around your phone and went, "Oh, sure, look, there's the fucking thing now. Yeah, we're doing it."
Yeah. That's how close it was to, like, I was close to fucking cancelling it because I would have had nowhere to go with it. Like, all other options had been exhausted. I tried everywhere. The pad wasn't available, even though I had for that particular night. So we were kind of stuck. But we pulled it off. We got there in the end. I could do something there, but why would I if the pub's available?
Yeah.
And you'll know what I mean when you're going to the pub. You go, all right, yeah.
Not like that, but like just like I know you don't know like actual capacity, but like you can put like more people in there. It's like RCW, like what Hooked and Feeling. I think did Hooked and Feeling sold out, and I think the last one was
No, it didn't sell out.
That didn't sell out, but the Hooked and Feeling sold out. Like the shows are just gotten, like, it's going up, so like it's outgrowing the venues and moving on to the next best thing available to you.
Thing about it is the PAV there's security in the PAV. The guy that owns the PAV, he owns 15 pubs in Cork, like, and he's not going anywhere. He bought the PAV specifically because it was derelict, and he bought the PAV specifically to turn it into something like this, that Cork people can have somewhere to go in an alternative venue. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in there that's very alternative in relation to, like, when I say alternative, not terribly alternative in this day and age, but like it's not your every day, like stuff you'd see in the Opera House or the Everyman. And they're the only 2 theatres in Cork. There's Pride nights once a month, there's drag queen shows, there's comedy nights. So basically servicing the diversity that is culture now in Cork and Ireland. And we're part of that now. So it's brilliant.
Carmo, do you throw anything in?
It even seems like the PAV is going to give you a better show, and that's before you even make a card. So that kind of way, so like it seems like a great decision overall anyway.
Absolutely, and they're exactly priced the exact same. It's absolutely fucking madness when you look at what we're getting for our money now in comparison to what we were getting for our money back then. So look, it is what it is. I can't wait to get in there and whatnot. Yeah. So and early birds. Actually, somebody was asking me about that online. So I think the doors open at 6:30. So we'll probably open the doors for the early birds about 6:10. Just a couple of minutes after the 6 o'clock mark, just to get the ball rolling, get people into their seats or standing, whatever they want.
And then it's bell time is 7, is it?
Bang on 7. It will not be late because we have to get that ring out of there.
So it's you guys are like kind of your time restraint to get the ring out for the next event to happen.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we do a 4-hour show, we won't be doing a second show. Put it that way. So there's a time limit. Like, so there is matches will have to stay out to their time limits, and we got to get the ring out, and there'll be a DJ coming in to set up immediately after us. So it'll be interesting enough. Panic to get the fucking ring out of there quickly.
That one person that doesn't fucking stick to their time, just fucking grab them by the fucking neck. Get that fuck out.
I'll be too busy just doing like, you'll see me immediately hopping into the ring and getting it down, but it's unique in a way. The Kino, it's like, and the fans are in no obligation to leave, by the way. You can stay there all night if you want, but where the ring is, there won't be any fans, whereas in the Kino, the fans were right on top of the ring. So it's just like, as soon as it's over, we're just in there taking it down. You can fucking drink on, do what you want, stay, chat, and then when the ring is down, I'll sit down at a point.
Don't be telling him that things now, because he'll never fucking leave the PAV.
Yeah, well, there's a bar downstairs as well. There's an actual lovely pub downstairs as part of the pub, like, so Once that van is closed, I'm leaving the van in town overnight because Cork City doesn't have clamping. So, and I'm just going to go for have a few pints.
That's handy to know, actually, for me. So I'm doing.
He's gonna leave the car now out in the fucking middle of somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely no topic. So
Right over the door, so it will be.
Carmo, do you want to throw out a question?
I'm actually going to hand it back to you. I'm still reeling from that Belfast thing, or the December thing that you read out there a while ago with all the names that are on that. I'm still reeling from that. I'm kind of like trying to get up questions, but like I'm still just listening to all those names.
let me just get up the poster in front of me. So because yeah. So yeah, Matt Schuyler, Butch Armstrong, Owen Richards, obviously Eric Young, Session Matt Martina, Raven Creed, um, yeah, Robbie X, Man Like Trees, CBL, and everybody else that's part of the X Division champ, whoever that's going to be. So yeah, and there's you can't put everybody on. You can't put everyone on. But I'm looking at it here and I'm going, look at all that.
There's more going to be on the show, and as you said, tickets and for the show and the meet and greet are on sale at the time of this coming out now. So if you want to meet Eric Young, get your fucking ticket for the meet and greet, and 2, if you want to see Eric Young wrestle, get your ticket for the
RCW Christmas show. You scumbag, you maggot.
It's gonna be
great name for it.
It's a very RCW name, isn't it?
I saw his face. He fucking popped when you said that.
Yeah, I love that. You know what, actually, I will ask you a question. I'm actually going to move away from wrestling here for a second, which might make it a little interesting. I do believe you were at the Rugby World Cup recently.
I was actually, yeah. I was. There you go. I was over in Paris for the Ireland Scotland game, yeah.
Good game, good atmosphere.
Yeah, unbelievable from what I can recall. It was obviously our World Cup final because like from the word go, we obliterated Scotland. It was a very one-sided game, so it was party time from kickoff really. So I really enjoyed it. Big shout out to the World Cup for playing my team music. The great group of guys out there for doing that for me. And it was played nearly in every pub I went into as well. So that was great.
They rightly put
it's become the new national anthem of Ireland, really.
Yeah, well, I'm not putting it on social media, but I recorded a video of me dancing on tables with my buddies when that came on inside the pub, so it was good crack.
I'm surprised when if it played in the stadium, you didn't walk down the steps and start making your way to the center of the arena.
If I brought my gear, I would have, yeah. But, I was, oh shit, that's my cue.
Just instincts kick in, like, oh fuck, who am I fighting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing I want to mention as well, now this kind of goes back to wrestling, but last week you were in Barcelona with your 2 lovely nephews.
No, the 2 boys, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I just happened to. I was working. I was there for personal reasons, but when I found out that there was Lucha Libre Barcelona putting on a show on the Friday night, and the 2 Fabio and Steers were over there fresh as, I was like, fuck yeah. So it's only like it was 5 miles away. Got in an Uber, made my way to the arena, and had a great night. Great night. They stole the show on the main event against the Barcelona Blacklist. And I was chatting to the promoter over there as well. So we might do something next year, the 2 as a co-promotion. So we'll see about that. Yeah, we'll see about that.
Another one thing I wanted to ask, because I know we spoke about this privately before, but of a potential talent coming over now. When you said the name first, I was confused, but former ICW Women's Champion Rio.
Yeah, so like I was chatting. She was on. I was very impressed with her. Basically, she's current Women's Progress champion as well, I believe, right?
I believe so.
So I only did a brief word with her after the show, because she was going to do RCW the next day, which is a Spanish promotion, which I learned.
You're there. I didn't book a show. What's going on here?
Have I set up another company somewhere else? Because that wouldn't be like me, Am I Tyler Durden, or is there a Spanish version of El Bedlam? But anyway, there's an RCW Spain, Royal Spanish Wrestling or something. I think it's an all-women promotion, or primarily women wrestling. And she was going out there the next day. So I had a brief chat with her about maybe doing some stuff with us next year. And I'm sure we'll see her in an RCW ring, yeah.
I'm horrified at the thought of a Spanish Luke Barry.
El Marion Armstrong. How many podcasts does he have?
That's how he's doing all these podcasts. And we don't know there's actually a twin fucking Spanish brother who's helping him out with this.
Exactly.
We're catching on to him. But Carmo, have you any questions before I move on to one or two fan questions I have?
I think far away, yeah.
So I asked.
Match we haven't mentioned. Sorry, before we move on, is the tag belts being defended for the first time?
Right.
Yes,
We haven't.
For the Bearded Beauties versus PB&J. One of the most experienced tag teams in the history of Irish wrestling is PB&J.
Yes.
Many decorations of different titles, reigns down through the years. So it's a good test for the Bearded Beauties. They've been obviously with me from day one. Big fans of Butch Armstrong, former tag team champion of Titanic with me. And obviously I'm a big fan of JDP as well. So that'd be a good match.
Can I actually?
They've been on a really good run, actually. Sorry, man. They've been on a really good run as well, the Bearded Beauties. Like, not even in RCW, but even throughout Ireland, they've been on an incredible run. So picking up those titles are well deserved from them.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe you're right, yeah. I'm a big fan of them. Of their work as a tag team and a unit. They look good. They wrestle well. They have a good cohesion, and it was well deserved when they won the belts at the last show. So, what are they going to do now? That's the question. Who are they going to wrestle after if they are successful against PB&J? What's next for them from December? What's next for the tag team division? I'll tell you what's next to the tag team division, shall I? So I want to build some tag teams that are. I want to build some tag teams that are. I won't say exclusive to me, but they're wrestlers that will tag with each other in other promotions. So they will be. I will have that set of exclusivity, and I have two such teams that are wrestling each other on the next show. And I'm not going to tell you who it is because I haven't the graph. I'm waiting for this. Will be probably the last match that's announced on Friday, but it'll blow your mind. I'll tell you off camera.
Ooh,
nice.
Now,
off camera.
Now, I want to ask you now. I want you to kind of take off the promoter hat and the fact that you're the GM and owner of RCW. You know, you've been with you've been with Butch for a long time. You've seen his growth. And I got to ask Luke this for the RCW podcast. To see him win the RCW tag team titles as a friend and a mentor, what was that like for you?
Yeah, well. Very, very, very nice thing to do is be able to share the moment in the ring with two of those boys, handing them the belts. Myself and Butch go way back. We kind of started around the same time. I think when we were both kind of half trainees, just kind of maybe getting to have our first couple of matches in CCW, I believe we first tagged together on a Revel. It was the first time I ever got a win, and I think that was the first time we actually tagged together years ago. El Jabrito and a young Billy Bedlam without William or anything, or even gear. It was just like very generic stuff altogether. So that's kind of when we kind of started to train together as well and go to the gym together and a little bit outside of in the CCW days. So I know Butch a long time, and it was a really nice moment to be able to hand him the belt, to look across him and just fucking hand him the belt. Yes, do you know what I mean? So. He's a young guy. He's in great shape. I'm sure he'll do some great things with this in the tag division and as a singles wrestler around the country. So yeah, it's really, really great guy.
So how long until the team of Billy Bedlam and Marion Armstrong take the titles off him?
Okay, so that will never happen. I know they say never, but I know that will never happen because I know Marion Armstrong can't wrestle again, and he's just not his physically, his body and his knees, so it won't allow him wrestle again, because he's not in a position to be able to train, unfortunately. So that tag team never happened again.
You could do like a Miz and Miz though, where he just stands there and does nothing.
Yeah, I think he's pretty comfortable with the media stuff. I'm not speaking for him or anything, but I think he's pretty comfortable in doing what he's doing right now. I, however, will be coming back doing some stuff at some point if all going well. Maybe next year. It's a long way off, but we'll see how that goes. I still have some unfinished business, or I still think I can do a little bit. So unless I fall down and break down, I have been medically cleared by my surgeon. I just haven't gone back training yet, so we'll see. So we'll see about that.
Ooh, so keep your eyes on what Billy Bedlam does next.
Next year has to go, but it certainly won't be in the next 8 to 9 months. But we'll see after that.
So I put out earlier
I
on.
actually thought, just before you go on, I thought of one more question just on the back of that tag team question. Have you heard from Mr. Charlie?
No, I don't know where he is.
Interesting.
Have you tried looking?
I don't know where he is. Yeah, he's disappeared. I mean, the last I saw of the box, the Sem was chuckling as he ran away down Washington Street with the box under one hand and the bag on the other hand. So I just don't know. We have to wait and see.
That's such a Sam thing to do.
I know.
Just fucking typical of him.
Sem is next week. He won't be on the RCW show, so God only knows when the next time we'll see Mr. Charlie, or if we ever will again, because his gimmick is gone, his box is gone. So what's going to happen next? I just don't know.
Can I ask? Obviously, because at the time it was a huge match to do, but seeing the kind of consequences of it now with Mr. Charlie, do you regret booking it at all, or you stand firmly like it was the right choice?
No, absolutely not. Definitely the right choice. We'll have to watch the space and see what happens, And
I'm going to throw it now to a couple of fan questions. I completely forgot there was a show on tonight, so we didn't get too many. But we got one from Tommy who asks, who is on your dream list to book for RCW if money and contractual obligations didn't get in the way of it?
Okay, so I would have had, like, say a year ago, if you had a magic wand, I would have said, okay, I'd love to bring Cody Rhodes to Cork. And or some stuff like that. Like, I'd love to Cody Rhodes be someone, obviously, that's anyone in WWE is not that. Let's just take that away. That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Right now, though, I would love to next year, if budget and contract, if everything aligned, Mark Riddle would be somebody I'd love to bring to RCW. Now, like, this is only just
just book like
none of these guys might want to do any independence. I would love to have Dustin Rhodes.
that'd
if
be
he's
a big one.
If he's still going, I'd love to maybe have RVD if he was interested. That's the type of, like, anybody that's still able to do anything from the Attitude Area within reason that hasn't been cancelled, I'd like to bring. There's lots of, like, if you're looking at some people from Japan, I'd love to have Zack Sabre Jr. Wrestling RCW. Yeah, anybody really. That's Eddie Kingston would be another person that I'd like to, if it ever happened. No, that's the type of person. Got high profile wrestlers anyway that I'd like to bring in if I could. I'm probably never going to bring anybody.
If you could book any match from any era and was like with no restrictions, we'll say like death and stuff like that involved, and you could put it as an RCW main event, what would be your dream main event to have in Cork?
Well, I don't think we'd be able to have it in Cork. We'd have to bring RCW to Dublin and do the 3 arena.
The big arena.
And it will be Chris Jericho, right? Versus, I don't know who, but like
Jericho versus someone.
Chris Jericho
versus somebody.
It's Jericho versus all his different alter egos. Lionheart, the Wizard, the Ocho. It's just Jericho versus Jericho.
Chris Jericho versus RVD, and that's the main event.
For the RCW World Title.
Yeah.
Fuck it. The Rebel X title.
I think Jericho's famously said he wouldn't do anything under 6 figures in the Indies. So if I win the lotto, right, you'll know. Because
Jericho's booked.
There'll be a fucking ad and Aiken Promotions present RCW live in the 3 arena, and probably have to offer him a Fonzie World Tour as well at the same point. But sure, look, if I win the lotto, I'm stupid enough to not to do something like that. So there you go.
And now I know he's just asked this to kind of annoy you, but Mikey, the lovely photographer, has asked, will he allow me to do a run-in on Saturday?
No. Bring the right lenses, Mikey, and
Running with the camera, just bang.
I might, in fairness, he's somebody that's keen to actually if I open up a school and whatnot. And he was somebody I was speaking to. He was, well, am I too old? I mean, I think he's 35 or something like that. I was like, I started wrestling when I was 35. So the answer is no, you're not too old. You're never too old. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And that goes for both ways. If you're young and you're good enough, you're old enough. If you're old, you're good enough, you're old enough, you're good enough, you're still good enough. So
all you've got to do is just walk through them doors.
well, that's it. You never know unless you go. Like, I never thought when I first came into CCW 10 years ago, whatever it is, 9 years ago, that I would have been ever wrestling. I would ever have held a championship. I would ever be a promoter. And who knows where the fuck this might take me. So, there you go.
Carmo, do you have any final questions you want to ask?
I think I'm good. I think we've asked it all.
Now, as always, you love this time. Is there anything you want to plug, you want to talk about at all, whether it be RCW, for yourself, anything? This is your time now to say whatever the hell you want.
All I want to say is thank you, especially you guys, you two guys, right, for giving me a platform and coming to the shows. And like, there's no point in booking shows without people coming to them and enjoying them and talking about them on social media and building a buzz and a hype. You guys do an incredible job, not just for me, but for other wrestling promoters as well. And I want to thank you too. I also want to thank anyone that's listening to this, that is coming to the show, or even anyone that's listening to this is not coming to the show, but shares stuff on social media and enjoys the product we put out. Because we are nothing as performers and as promotion without fans. So that's all I have to say is a big thank you. Thank you for supporting us throughout the year. We've got 2 more shows this year that are going to knock your fucking socks off. And I look forward to next year.
And make sure you follow RCW and all their socials, RCW Wrestling.
Yeah, you can do that part for me because I don't know it. But just RCW Wrestling, I think, is the Twitter. And there's a lot of other RCW bits and pieces as well that I should really know. But there you go.
Go tweet RCW Wrestling and tell them that Martin is looking for Luke Barry. I just want to annoy him for one day. Not just Saturday, but any other day. But Carmo, this is actually, sorry, our socials, almost forgot, but send you to end it off. Follow the 5 Marks then on all our socials. See them on the screen, 5MarksPod on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. 5 Marks Podcast everywhere else. Carmo, this is your time to do whatever the hell you want.
So let's do it. Billy, thank you so much for joining us again today, and we will indeed see you on Saturday for the show.
Yep.
But for another week, we have been the 5 Marks Podcast, and we are officially ding, ding,